coming in.
Thank you.
So cool. I know your father pretty well. Great guy. We went to college together. He speaks obviously very highly of you.
Yeah, we're both pretty excited about this opportunity.
Cool.
So
yeah, it's a cool opportunity. It's a great industry. Definitely a lot of room for growth, and I've been in it for quite a while, so I know the network. I know the industry a little bit, and pretty exciting. So you just graduated or just got your MBA?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I did, and I did some. I had some experience with NC. I'm not sure if you've heard of them.
Okay, yeah.
And they really got my entrepreneurial juices flowing, so I'm really excited to get going with this kind of stuff.
Prepared to just kind of start your own thing now.
Yeah,
Cool.
really excited, and I think this is a great opportunity in this industry, especially. I feel like it's about to boom.
Yeah.
And so
that's huge. Yeah, your dad has kind of put together his own business as well from the ground up, which is pretty impressive. So
yeah,
I know it runs in the blood. I'm sure you'll be successful.
Yeah, I look up to him a lot.
Cool. Well, hopefully we can, come together here and figure out a plan that makes sense for both of us. I think I have a lot to offer to the table as well as you, so I think we can kind of meet in the middle here and make something happen. So coming over from Edison Bulbs, I've been CEO there for 5 years now. They expect a lot out of production, and they're very target oriented, which is fine, but they also are typically slower to follow market trends. So I think that is something super essential going into a venture, and I'm sure you'll do really well at, is making sure that we follow the trends and we're keeping up to date with the products. Another big thing as far as running this business, it's in my contract that I can't own a certain percentage of equity in the company for the first year. Obviously, after I'm done at Edison Bulbs, then I can. So we'll have to work out a deal where I have a convertible loan, which eventually would translate into equity the second year. Just because I have a lot at stake, I'm kind of putting my name on the line there.
Of course, yeah. I think just to understand where you're coming from a little better, what interests you to come, or I guess work with me on this project?
Yeah.
Is it because your time at Edison is coming close, I guess?
Yeah, that's one part. I think that obviously I see a lot of value in you as well. Like I said, they're a little bit slower with I guess the trends and taking a lot of my consideration and not putting that forth. So they haven't put as much money in innovation and coming out with new things, and a lot of things are kind of transferring into LED or like solar powered things. So that type of thing we're obviously going to try and get into, and I think you're great with suppliers, from what I know and what I've talked to your dad about, that I think that we can develop a relationship here with great suppliers that provide that type of equipment, and that's somewhere, kind of the direction that we can go.
Yeah.
But as far as what you want from me, what are you kind of looking for?
I think what I'm looking for is a business partner. One thing that I am cautious to put myself into is like having a boss type of a relationship, because if I wanted that kind of relationship, I would have worked for my dad,
Right.
And so I think coming to you and really seeking out a partnership is really what I'd hope for.
Right.
And I think it's a great opportunity to, like you said, have an innovative drive with the suppliers and the experience that you might have as well as I have.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and that's how I came into it as well. Obviously, I'm a little bit more experienced, but I think we both offer a lot to the table at this point. Obviously, we need a lot of capital to start, and we're trying to decide the equity split. As far as my expertise, my client network, and the value that I bring to the table, I'm happy to work out a deal where we can do something like a maybe an 80-20 split, and I offer 80% of the capital up front.
Mm-hmm.
And that would come through convertible loans, like I said. Just because of my legal contract, I'm not able to have 80% equity up front. It'd have to be later on.
Okay. Like I said, I really enjoy to have this opportunity with you. One thing that I feel is hesitant about is going into this with you having 4/5 of the ownership, just because I'm really passionate about this, and I know you bring in great experience and knowledge and resource and all this, and money, of course. This is really my passion right now.
Cool.
I'm putting my whole life into this. I have to pay off two years of student loans, and I'm still putting out of pocket into this, and so I do have other options that I can really look into, but I really want to have you as a resource and see you as a mentor, if anything. And so if there's any possibility of potentially knocking that down so that I would have more of the say of the company and be able to call the shots in that, that would be ideal for me. I'm sure that.
Yeah. So as far as personal cash, you're kind of strapped, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
putting in capital or to get this going. What percentages were you kind of looking at as far as the split in equity?
Well, the way I understand it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand it is that whoever has over 50% of the company really calls the shots and is owner, right? And so that's really where I'd like to be, is over 50%, because then I'd be able to be the owner of the company, as well as making the decisions. And I would love for you to be on my back as my mentor and everything, because I'm sure you have other projects that you'd like to do other than this little startup. But that'd be ideal.
Okay. So kind of like maybe a 50-50?
Yeah, and if possible, even more on my side, just because that 50-50 could be kind of, there's a gray line, I think.
Right. Yeah, I think it comes down to trust as well, and I think I have enough experience where I bring that to the table that we can work something out a little bit closer to what you're thinking there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm fronting a lot of the cash, so I'm taking a little bit more risk, so I feel like I should probably get a little bit more of the equity side.
Yeah.
Although I think we can bring it down somewhere to about 60-40. As far as roles in the company, as CEO, I feel like it's kind of a title. You have just as much say in the company, and I'm gonna work together with you. We were co-founders, so
Mm-hmm.
you'll have just as much say, and we'll work together. At first, I think we can start it at 60-40 and slowly change that later, where you've learned a little bit more. Maybe 5 years down the road, you'll take over as CEO, and you'll be kind of running the shots a little bit more, just
Okay.
to kind of be there as your mentor, as well as not holding your hand, but kind of guiding you through the process at first, and then letting you do your own thing.
Okay. Is there some way, if we do go around, because with you at 60-40, that gives you the power to call the shots whether we agree or not.
Right.
And one of my worries is that, and something that is really a deal or no deal to me, is honesty and integrity in the industry. And so some things that I just like to lay out and maybe put in the contract as well is like no bribery and no dishonest movements in the business and things like that. That would really cut short our integrity.
Cool.
Are you okay with that, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can put that in there. We do have a top sales guy that we can bring over as well. Excuse me. His name is Sam Schaefer. He's one of the top guys at Edison Bulb, top sales guys. He's number one actually. So I think he brings a lot to the table as far as that sales side of things and connecting with maybe some of the suppliers as well, and you'd be working hand in hand with him. He has a lot of loyalty for me, and obviously, he'd come over if I moved him. He's the number one salesman for a reason. Obviously, integrity and trust is a big thing, a big part of what we do. He's able to, not putting the company's name at stake, but also get deals done. So yeah. I think he'll bring a lot to the table. We can work something out where there's no type of bribery or dishonesty within even the sales or suppliers or any of that worked out in the deal. Would that make you feel a little bit more comfortable?
Yeah, that would, because obviously I don't want to question your integrity by any means, but I know where I stand. I just want to be sure that we stand in the same area.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cool. So I think, I'm happy with this. If you are bringing on Sam and then doing a 60-40 split,
I think that'd be fair just to make sure things go as planned for the future, because I don't know how the future would be.
Right.
I can't tell the future anything.
No.
If we did do a 60-40 split, acknowledging your power in this, how can we make sure that that we would be able to transfer those roles?
So what I was thinking is basically after about 5 years is when I felt comfortable to step in as role as CEO of a company. I think you'll feel the same way, if not sooner. I think we can renegotiate roles within 3 years, if that's something that you want to do. And obviously right now you're kind of the CEO and getting operations and creating relationships with the suppliers, but about 3 years down the road we can renegotiate it and possibly just put you up as CEO.
Okay. Would you feel comfortable putting into the contract that equity in the company would switch by 5% each year? Is that something we could work out?
I'd say let's see here. So 5%.
Yeah. So let's say if we started today at 60-40,
right?
Next year you'd be 55-45. Then 2 years it'd be 50-50, and 3 years it'd be about 50.
Cool. I think at the time that I'm willing to hand over the role as CEO, I think that at that point we can meet at 50-50. I still want to be able to kind of make sure that you're on the right track at that point. Mm-hmm. So if we work out a deal where it's 3.3% for the next 3 years, so it would go 3.3 each year, and then eventually we'd meet at 50. Also adding on the board of directors, maybe your father, and some other important people in my network, so that we're all working together to kind of help each other out.
Of course.
How does that sound?
That sounds reasonable.
Cool. So we have it at 60%, 40%, changing 3.3% each year at 3 years, and then up for renegotiation as CEO.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Cool. Awesome. I think this would be a successful venture, and I think we're getting into the right market.
I agree.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dr. Creed.
Cool. Thank you.